pay Diana Ross, the same culture said. Instead of looking at the past, I put myself ahead 20 years and try to look at what I need to do now in order to get there then. Osino can say, instead of going back and looking at the past, dwelling in the past, rather, she put herself ahead 20 years. That is a spiritual leap, 20 years. And try to look at what she needs to do, the job at hand to execute in order to get there in the 20 years that she's envisaging herself to be.
Diana Ross, na some and I work on a pay 26th March 1944 in Tiafika will be 81.
Yeah, she's a no singer. She's a no singer.
Queen of Motown. Sana, your friend, I was doomed to emo. What would do also, Kwesi? Measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They're normal.
Aye. Oh, 5. Tracy Ellis Ross. Yes, what I would think.
So I would think. Yes, so I would think. They're normal.
They're normal. Anybody, a young day. Anybody, I mean, I would think be a second bad. Can you bad the cry? Oba to some name, maybe do something. Kwesi, I want you. What's the no come once? Mama was it? Me tell me, matter if you are sent Kenya bank, I offer to we. Yes, some who ban the biajo ban the uncle. Diana Ross, what to no match papa ni music group no ede the Supremes. Na Oware ani nice 1985 kusi 2000 na no echi. Na first marriage no every 71 ekusi 77 no de wo ne ma nyina. Diana Ross, your friend the Queen of Motown Records. Na oye lead singer vocal group bi I from the Supremes and just otonyom chepa na nasema waka na no pay tie I was say so be hwe wachi na de anko yie atete wo no onu say wetimi dwen 20 years emaye emfi a wona nim bebre emu no de ne reshe esan so won kwa na wo wade ubetimi a try ni o ma bebre ya ene wantumi anye ho adwuma a etwamu a won sometimes no nipa bebre e feel say ebere atwamu no wa wesi no wa say no ti na ehye ne so sesei e ma ne ntimi nyire ne ho enko nanim Diana Ross say enka nche wa no pay say ono the next 20 years to come no na ya no no de nani ekobu hon ho de atwamu enra ada atwamu de atwam ti e ma enra ntwam na emu enne ne kyena ai wo ye nimu no ene sese ye hwe na wototo nyoma nyina yie na wo ma wo the next 20 years nyame de wo nkwa kyewa e de na abaye eno na abetimi aye ho bibi na de atwamu nko de manintwam sometimes kwa ya na wo past kure hantel ai ne wo feel say esese wo ya wanyi ne yie no untimi you can't forgive yourself na no e hye wo so e ma edi unya na mum de atwamu no wo bo wadwene ne po se atwam e kyena de e na me looking forward to a onyame be ma wo ho ahoden ama watumi ayere ho na waye ne yie
Jebisafo and pay that's a message in fact na nyom back when say popular many people think he lives in me, yeah. He lives in me.
I want to say gospel.
He watches over. I'm the choreography. It's true. You know, that's here for you. That's a message of motivation. Quickly, then check your word down for the next. And of course, Andrea, so go. Come on.
Oh, sir.
Hey, I catch and I say, the bush on tobacco being film.
Nibufu.
And the bush on tobacco film. Oh, the middle of the toy. All right, it seems for I'll pay the check your for the next 24 hours. the situation hasn't changed. 8-11 Ashanti region and Greater Accra region. That is the weather update for the next 24 hours. At 4 we're hitting the ground running. We shall stakeholders to ensure, say, the city no, now what they meet me now dollar na form, and of course to stabilize the inflation. And pay my share yesterday now against the dollar and other major trading currencies.
Ebusia for yesi kasem no said the Bank of Ghana e de abrɛ enano pay enie wo hwɛ nra no na wa heti 15.1 aba krole kakra sa na ekonomi pound sterling 18.6 euro 15.7 Canadian dollar near 10.5 Chinese RMB 2 flat enti sikasem no baby egina no pay enie nefie Bank of Ghana figures are omudi amaya no pay into forex no man no pay ya say ya netie obi kan yes dollar ne the Bank of Ghana na regulating nso wo pe bi ato agesa bochi abochi wona anko a obenye bi enti ye de besi wo na ya dan ye ho semesini bi abaye ba baba isa ye krado o de sports ebeto aso amaye
Awusia anopen so odumfo no e de adominu mienu na emra so se Oyerepa breakfast time no so agudi enwinsem chefa ewom ye din enkomo dwumade ne din e de breakfast sports e be din enkomo el John Ansa na so ye o newly elected GACA chairman na o se one GF president e namfofo a and say she details abeba ene anopay and wachi yebehwe Ghana Premier League second round na shase over the weekend match day 18 saying and a fixtures no esi etie hato fo kotoko communities ben and abebo na Justice Nkunku Blay or your deputy captain Emma Sante Kotoko or in some atudwenra omane central for Asia na ufiwa yebehwe UEFA Europa League enra match setodwa Parker Wilson's Manchester United enra omorene na Ruben Amorim obaje the Europa League na here details abeba anopay when you afufo pi and then am say agudie mu nsem sports lawyer nie yensase emfi GACA asue GACA to aba na omoto aba no say Mr. John Ansa and a chairman ama GACA and say waba no opese a productive leader obetimi aboa ama kuno afa na ntoma pa etimi afowie no se semadamfo and ket years of krakua sense hwe na nsem ne
I think there's some big challenge on bringing ourselves together. And I think I want to drive on that. If you look at my flyer, I said that I want to be a productive leader. And that means that I want to bring everybody on board. I will solicit a lot of advice from my senior and even my own colleagues to be able to lift GACA from where it was. You know, the previous administration did a lot, but we need to improve on that and then work on the negatives so that we can address some of these mistakes. And we're going to run an open door policy where every idea that comes on board, we'll have an officer who will be collating all that and we'll put it together and work effectively to lift GACA up once again. I think I want to assure the whole general public, especially those of us in football, that is true. I have a relationship with him, but that does not deter me from leading an association like GACA and do the right thing. What do I mean about the right thing? There are effects of having a dialogue with the FA. Things that we don't understand, they should let us get the picture clear. Most often than not, we don't go to inquire. And then we jump away and start giving falsehoods. But I want to do a relationship of going to inquire and find out why are the club having these challenges. We'll come back to our clubs and have a dialogue with them as well and address it once and for all. No matter what it is, somebody should have a friend. And if he happens to be my friend, there's nothing wrong.
Ghana football interesting. If you and share Ghana Premier League second round on the that is match day 18 over the weekend. Say and our fixtures no esi eti ochna Accra Lions Wafa Park omni Midiama and abebo Suga Kope Asante Kotoko Baba Yara Sports Stadium on Sunday. Omni Karela Ebo Nomiensa Baseke Holy Stars Camp Park and you say omni Accra so folk and de Ebo ni Bechem United Ebetan Fiona Fosuja Bo Park na on Nations FC de Abo ni Young Apostles Ebebo Wenti Sports Stadium against Insuacheman FC Brekum Chelsea Golden City Park omni Vision FC and de Ebo so Heart of Lions Ebetan Fie na one Doma Adriana Stars de Abweni FC Summertest 1996 ewo in Central Sports Arena ni Dreams FC and de Eboso Lagos Cities ewo University of Ghana Stadium omni Gold Stars de Abweni enra Asante Kotoko 2 players in team Menu and Justice in Kunku Blay Asia in Central for ewo press room Baba Yara Sports Stadium na Justice Blay and rebia ya na obeshe kotoko jesino ya na oye determine say there was oye eboa ema club no kokona nim no and na ya na oye e o pitch no so
na performance na so dey determination am determine say anytime my share Asante kotoko jesibia no open to my best so I never want say like first one the performance made me a put no every second person and then with me abo with him made me a big na ha and in central for the didn't come challenging once me player again na players there although you be on betting about different positions but to me no when I was a younger and I made more center back. And today, was like, oh, coach, no opportunity to say, yeah, me walk center back, maybe. And yummy one. And so, if you can do coaching and the decision, no take here. Now, I feel you was take another decision. Let me tell you about Medford. So, I'm very happy.
From Justice Blay, Yansha Europa League match se to the results and said yeah. Ekoye na yemfa nsem ento yana hwefo enim Galatasaray ene Dynamo Kiev ebo 3-3 eno ati no Besiktas ehye 9 ema Athletic Club Bilbao etimu baako AZ Akma enra ehye baako Roma entimi Bodo Glimt esemiensa ema Maccabi Tel Aviv ete ekarmo baako Fenerbahce ene Lyon obia anse bi Hoffenheim shemyeno ema Tottenham bona kamiensa Mammo FF2 FC23 FC Porto Estádio do Dragão Olympiacos esene kabako a went me anti quarterback FK shemyeno ema FCSB esene eka miensa Victoria Plexen shemyeno Anderlecht entimi anti ekarmo bi Esbok esebako Nice entimi anti Eintracht Frankfurt and from virus for Lusu 2-0 to Eintracht Frankfurt Lazio esemiensa ema Real Sociedad eti ekarmo bako Ludogorets Razgrad eti fie ema Midtjylland ebone kamyeno wentimi anti Manchester United esemieno ema Rangers eti ekarmo bako PAOK esemieno Slavia Prague entimi anti RFX esebako Ajax entimi anti Saint Union Girosi eti Sporting Braga esene kamyeno a Sporting Braga eti ekarmo bako. Notable highlights of the Europa League etwaso.
It's red down.
sports lawyer ni dan ho by bar Kwesi Parker Wilson and his Akua and pay at the Oyerepa breakfast time. It was so.
Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa TV, station.
Emri bi atwam apomuden ho nsem agi nsem ho emma osoro yedin emma sase ediawere ho enti onyankopon nam da esumu eda enua eni haba
Oyerepa TV. Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa TV, the station that makes me feel so happy. Hey, Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa TV, the number one. Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa TV, the station that makes me feel so happy. Hey, Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa TV, the number one. Oyerepa TV.
Kwaba and January was so many that a top so education non song abo apahon semanson aha Oyerepa TV Jumedie no Oyerepa breakfast time de do so e de obrakata embo so medi de nanama into for Akua Asieduaa and Kwesi Parker Wilson eti adwemu di asijo you too yo so that we is you too
you know what's up boys you know what's up the boys in there you know what's up
so
I tell you, I give you no muso.
What's up? I pay say bia boko.
I adom.
Yeah, some carta na say yeah the carta ben ya dey say I pay daily graphic truth and accuracy every day. Abugbulesi and ankofo abobo omo eyi wo ho no. Omo set wo ho omo ba be di omudjuba na so mbeton omade ombedi dwa ho. O say Agboglosi reclaimed land under siege. Scrap dealers, onion sellers occupy 80-acre land. And also ejodi for mo so akwaje Agboglosi. Land bi ye chese omu reclaim ye. Mo sa ye sacre mu ye no fofo no. Ejodi for no ejodi for. O ma sa ba.
That one me fa ye. Me ma sha da ko hwe.
Asase ya tamed na wo ye fa.
Na me wo sha da ko hwe. Etu o mo kwa.
Enti o ma san akwa mo shares no e wo ho. Parliament approved 6 more ministerial nominees. And also ministers afoforo enu bia na say ministers ayebo omudi no yes chese parliament approve enimpa ensiam. We try Honorable Emilia Arthur oye minister edema fisheries and aquaculture Ediaba, a man is also one hand, will say, Minister pledges reforms to tackle fishing, and also a year and once and crata abahu amane ewa. And I which Mama Ayerga Infoni Ediaba, honestly see our Baba majority leader, and say, Mama Ayerga takes over as majority leader. Stay clear, ladies first.
Yo, I'm going to shindi asamna meka. Behind mosque, no, right, Kwesi? Sa odo gata kese na edidi kwai CGC headquarters Mochi Road kwai no Kolebu kwai so won ni benkum wo kire ho sa obi a oni baabi a meka yehu baabi a meka ho asem Jennifer na former Greater Accra regional minister ye kire no obeye interior minister Henry wo mu free ho sasase no ye de beye bibi foforo in fact ko hu said na sasase ne te a ye de ye bibi a enke so be mo mine emfa so pa but ye two omo bro 3 years right enko fu was ache and one sasa ni da ho sa and no aje ko to ko no
2021
omo anfa nye hwe
omo ka so be see hospital
na nko
and it yeah now and that's what
and
o ma san ko no
e ma nipa no dodo na complaining say enyo ko yi e wo ho Eda wa ni ehun ni wura ni ehun de ede ya obesan ba ana kwesi me boa na obi eni wa on soft love life e wo wi ase ayati yo say agbogloshi wo ho e bi a ofro ka ba ku besi Accra agbogloshi walking distance no asan afra besi no afra ji nkotoku de onye nche na obeba betna wo e na omo so betna wo nti me nka ne so mo ye right and omo nye right ni mum de na sese oye bibi a wanya space na dawa di na san aba no you waste so much money ne ye dey yes I di conjunction no enei aban a waba epese obetoa idea no so bia no mo plan da ho a adekro mo de be say de kwesi kan say hospital I mean I was thinking say baby akolebu we ni baby a omo de ho ne be hospital no
I don't know.
About 10 minutes walk be.
I know. I can't shut down. What?
Is that baby? Well, so confirm not you military hospital so barracks.
Yeah.
Barracks.
It's a military special thing.
For one crop for no staff.
Special thing.
And be a number one saying quite. But assassin you bet me there you be a yenye. My man is so papa. Esopa you between the bibi ayemfa yenye bibi na illegal fishing they said to the baby illegality in the baby bi wo ho illegal fishing no we dey metimi aka bi e wo metimi say petroleum we say na we ntini dindim
oh
another
so just say yen shedan kan ho asembere
that's what you feel no na enye Ghanaians nie bi ba o ma need go for pa ye foreign vessels na e ba Ghana e be fish no oba na etini gubenkum gunifa na wafa fishing boat ni ni no sam nam ne kosa o ma obi enyi bi eno illegal fishing no bia e na fe o mo so adi nuro egugu nsuo mu ma emoa ne nom no eno wo a wo kɔwe no wo so kra na ewo nsunsu aso wo so se minister na pledge se obehwe no ya reforms wo ho a I think say meaning right ekwan a ese so fa so because aboa bia wo nsuo mu aye na ende up will be table so enti se aye poisonous free nsuo nim na eba wow baby no so wo problem nti dey be aka no
as for Agbogloshi there in fact me mom there right from day one in Simbia Kosono, the allegations were that Mensa Utabo, not sorry, I see just sorry that almost every day no complain about the activities of the year on one of Muguchi. So yam for spare part dealers for onion for almost the whole market on its own. And of course there was settlers so almost to the CBI more like a den of was like a haven for them. It's not all company and some say that a main sort of complaint. And I'm not buying. Go to Sanko for me.
And you
two and no suffer otaban national. We're here for her. We see now the headquarters has moved from where it used to be to somewhere around a year. Baby. I will see a whole new headquarters. Oh, inti sebi. Na nyansa be na.
Esikafo na wo te problem so mpese hia for bebe wo.
Well, no, that's it. Yes, and it's true. It's one of the most toxic areas in Accra. And normal a cost
criminal.
You say what say? Who ye free? Who young with for Akwa baby for? No one be sick baby wa. Till date, a bare land. And of course, as a said, what is a bare land? I'm out for. What can I use it? It's a bare land. Harry Cote, walk up. Benjamin have for back. Titus Grover. Or buy one can want some dark room product. What it means is that what is the value and the purpose of Namuye? And then let's see. This phone number. Young share. Number some baby views, some sign back because young market, in fact, the whole of Accra. Yam ni free.
Every time I lend
it. Now, man for Akua Asieduaa, they put a very great jeopardy. You know, say NDC bar. Let us know the minister of Lindo Klu. Yen Tieno on the country way ya omodeba beye. They will come interrogate the matters further. And of course, NDC majority Nandra. Say a paper catcher didn't boy in the baby. Me know didn't come out about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. And I'm the catcher. Me catcher. Bahama Yakbe Roxy Nasa the film for the chief web. Becoming now. I think swapping, you know. And no can I say, though they are in absolute majority, almost for absolute majority, the end take the minority for the fan who is. They share I'm and some millions because oftentimes when they are in the majority, you don't really regard the minority because it doesn't matter and probably be, you know, you ever share him 18 years, going forward.
Okay. Funny about chini and funny we ko ni say you mama na ewom ko my so ohini bia so ayese o pa ko weduamo so chini funny and da he no say chini others removal of excavators along Birim River and so ya galam say ntokwa ya kunya Atumbi say excavated from. And now Estro Hassan or say teenager surprises prosecutors. My lord, I lied to my boyfriend that I was 90 years. And so I have some a quarter teenager beer. Watch us on
so
opening panel 19 and so no after being acquitted and discharged for coup plot. I just say, you never come around to they are all here. The camera not the camera after being acquitted and discharged for coup plot. The sad story of Colonel Kojo Gamali, the decision forced to retire from the army.
I see.
Colonel Kojo Gamali. Okay, and also so now some and I work on Krata is so afebi ewo ahano. A position so aba 2 Thessalonians 32
Can your officer
delivered from wicked and evil men.
A horn quotation and
not all have something. No, because of me who are
pretty.
For all have
no,
the long story, no teenager surprises prosecutors and that. Me surprised a few months ago. Me surprised a few months ago. I probably obam hobe and no man to get you mam na de ade. Na oba ntade o sese na de ade. Me so me hu ni say oh we dey say I mean 18 19. 4 months down 4-5 months that obisa me say na dey me hu ni wa na. Ani
say we meet you hotel.
Yeah.
Onu no bisa
na ani bisa me say.
Me meet you so bisa.
Oh aba for na cry me. Oba me onim. Me body di ma obi obi. Oba be say me ho papa dia no. Esim no. Because money is in field. No.
Bisa so unhuni ho. Let's ono no ba no material motive ono wa you say.
Let's say me no you know ya so that na enam. Ene dey cre. Bisa dey yem penifo na ya ware na isi ayen si dey jai no ma bi. Oba ntade o hye ba no. Me hu pa ba no. Me wadwe wonti. Be 4-5 man down the line. Bisa me say ade. Me hu ni wan.
Ojina woni ma na ojina baby na o kan telephone so.
Na me say. Na me so akoma mu a. Na me pese me ya abusive the violent na me feel am don't know.
I was ka la hye no kwa.
When
nim no ojina kan sa asem.
Me both.
Come on, no more. Yes, it's true. Or two what do you see?
Me the castle beats because of statistics be aba. And I'm the castle a man, and the statistics shows that by the age of 13, 15, no me humbeba. So 13, do 13 years.
No, damn Bema.
Of course, that is 13.
You could be elected, so be no being an menses.
Oh,
he said 11. He said 8, 9, 10 now. 11. It's by 13 years in Accra. 13, no Bema. And don't know no kind of young musician man. Of course, there are fewer and Mema and Deco. And what's your statistics now? A man who Mema turned down and Bema. The age, of a man from 13, 15 out to 19. But the member DNA from 15, 16 going. And a man. It's the statistics are quite staggering. I just say and the numbers no quite a cost.
Man, break your virginity.
What is driving them? I don't know what's driving them. Because I'm not read the details of the report to see what is driving them. Because obviously there's a factor, there's a driving factor. Say basic then you back and the sexual promiscuity and the sexual risk behaviors of young girls and young boys and air cost the door. A best now for a mammy 43. I'm about for a count. Say a man who do 12, 13 years or more in common and buy Bono region and what's not and LED with them crowd 13 to 19 years and I'm also OT region and a member from 15 echo and only do OT region. It's and normally cost the numbers are in fact 2020 now they 8%. 2022 a call by 14%. We know cash it's about 60-70%.
Increase every year.
It's sad medjum no. Eya doso.
And now we are
say. And now medjum. Eya doso. It's a best slag for.
Yeah, no more person almost sorry who said
I don't know.
Nani na je hu no wo kwaya na obi akwaya be ka kire nti o so no so ko try.
Obi akwaya be ka kire. And na social
media no ka ho. Social media
na hun to feel you are going to
be social media na
wa shed no season the panel
no obe nim ne ho no
no but it's a serious matter that we need to address. It's a serious matter. No, it's a serious matter.
About yema titu yema ma no.
The serious matter.
Because a man na kofa trouble na de ba. Ka ye wo school ni e prepare yema ye free exit once every 2 weeks ni enko fie. Headmistress en fie yen. The reason o de ba ye no ne say yen yi gina so pokware ne prempem onye free exit every other week. Enti yen ye bi. O se mema de o kwa kofa trouble ni ko bi ma o fie.
Exactly. But obadi about
exactly. When you're ready, so be true na. Inti yama omo ekọ omo every year at enko. Wo de ni dura ye kra de metem ne ekọ 6 to 6. Woko 6 inti wo traveler wo nya bi nko. So wo di wadan for tikrom.
Ana kwata na
nche. Ene mo nyina mo kwa akọ no aduane de mre no masan aba school. De me ka ma kusia ne say e maba wan say wo ma ya omo special care.
Of course. That's very.
Ehwa ye de hwe ma no me da me ye mama me nti minim de me ka no. Ehwa ye de hwe ma no ene mamu ane de no ense. Kwan ya be fa so a wo de betete wo baba no enye the same thing but e mema ne ntete ye ya e chen ma ba no kra no bo so mi awani a so de asam na me de ka e ma yo ano etete enye di bebre te se mamu ano nti mo me mfa ye ma na namfo ni oni mi bi enu se me ma ye me namfo me mani nti ama enamfo sem bebre wa bontin kwesi minim ye mi nkwadamfo fie na damfo ba mi ma na ye me namfo enkomo bia ye bo fra so de ko campus de ye bo ye life de obi akokro mo ko hu ye bia ye nyina discuss ni asre ebre so ne ye beda ne ada enti mo me anya ne sa kwara ate sa e de so de asem besi
yeah.
Moment I be make advances on her, crowd back actually, mammy. Enti mema na mo ye line, mo feel any minim na bisa na mimi sa. Kwesi de make so ati make advances or back actually me. I mimi sa wan chere se minim. Sa pepepe na wo so bia e fa ne madam for.
Say briefly your quotation na.
Kwa dia mo de na ba.
Adua mo de no. New Crusading Guide mu.
Almost say o hene na ye dey.
Almost say o kromo oh hene na I bibi maate nsa se bi
hene ankasa na se
meba
wo de ma menka quotation
kan quotation nam so hwehwe bra
2 Thessalonians 3:2 Thessalonica fo mu metoso mienu timi ensanchichemu mienu o say and pray that we may be delivered from wicked and evil men for not all have faith. Ne bompa yeda se onyame baji ye free etimodemfo ni nipa bonefo nsem.
Can gamali.
What can I say? There's a story about a man go for number some you kuti akufado. No ka ho bi. Na ka no ka ho.
Na doctor bi ka ho.
Na doctor bi ka ho no.
Doctor nkra so wo.
Ondo akebe bi. Nti no mu nyina omo discharge so omo like you're not part of the whole process. Nti na man for say only for
dia say.
Nti na man for say aha mo be say bem say hasn't come yet.
Samai na anya de wa be. Because we be sumo rise through the ranks and do kenela ye.
Officer mo position.
Mama ye ne yenya ne kwan na esum na obesumo man no. Onfa ho ayi nkofie na yesa na kwa say de why adwuma ayanhye de hunu so mfa so. Yesa
na we ne say rempem hene na kromofo na asori tie na say okosi palace fofo bi. Do am rempem hene.
De oba ye de mi hu no ba de okoye no oyo oba.
We de be ma.
Ko be afini.
Yes okosi palace
find out na
find out. Birthday si bi.
E be papa fie phone so. Asofo ne di rempem hene. Enti ne we de mo mani taking easy. Me free am find out na mo details no.
Birthday wo ho a.
Oh, there been
no.
And if you
better senra
swaba
ne papa na edom e ko wo abusuafo wo adwoso no
so start
Kwesi
so start
edom amudi ye chiko ye no nyame nhira mo wate nhira mo papa
yanyina so na yemfansi Akua Asieduaa de Ghana te sai eto so medin de na nama intifo madawase amomo no hwa abrawo.
Abusuafo yamamu nyina che emamu akwa ba Ghana te sen breso na yedre na yede enkomo no ekọ appointments committee nra vetina ekọ so ewo enkran na egusukra ekọ so ayenwieye soafo a yagini tumu a obe soafo behwe adwadie ene ehon komodie the Minister of Trade ebi keke ka ho lawyer ni ba ye friend Elizabeth Ofosu Ejare na maami kokasa ma ni nkomodie mu no commander sugar factory ehon komo esan bai ye nyina be kai kai ho a 2016 na bra na ndisi aban kro ya wasan ba ban mu na okro no okoye nsiesie commander sugar factory ho ma yen nsem trofo ye bi kra kodi adanse se wo mafiase ye sikyire no nanso besi nne no ye hunu de faaye aban ye otwa mu ko ye mfie nwotwe a obedi ye no wa mo commander ene eho dwumadie nyina edin ewo baabia ya amanfo ne bebre kura ne kan se aban dada na ye kwa ewo so wo so de wani ekoho de omudi gina so kan ye no ne se ahwede na ye dua a ye tumidi ye sikyire no bia ho no yentimi nua yentimi fie nwotwe no de na ne ye betumi aye didim ene aban no nso ko foforo yi a wasan abai Commander Sugar Factory hon komo ebepie mu na yenti anu yi a Elizabeth Ofuso Ajare edema appointments committee e vetting.
You do an awesome job. I have worked under you and the Ministry of Tourism, and I know you do very, very well. As the Member of Parliament for Commander Edna Ekwafu Abrim, I want to ask you about Commander Sugar Factory.
I have walked quickly through the ministry by a briefing I received about Commander Sugar Factory. I've been told that as we speak, it is not operational. And one of the major challenges the factory has suffered was the lack of raw material to feed that industry and some missing parts. I've also been told that monies were released to solve these problems. And the total health of the factory should be done after an evaluation. And so I will work to ensure that we know the actual health of the factory. But it's obvious that we need that factory to work for the benefit of Ghanaians because we are importing about $500,000 worth of sugar into this country. And so once I take office, I will work together with the ministry to ensure that we assess the health of the factory and do whatever it takes to put the factory on stream by whatever means to ensure that Ghana benefits from that monumental project.
Madam, how long do you foresee that it may take for us to operationalize this factory? I have paid a visit to the place. Everything is intact, and we are ready to see it operational. So what is the timeline that you would give to the good people of Commander Edna Ekwafu Abrim?
Thank you very much for the question. The answer is expeditious timeline. Thank you.
Expeditious timeline. Ebra ye di beye adwuma no na beye ne breso wano. Hey, sika ne yesesa ne yatugu ikosiesie na obi ba ho nkɔ ho nsuo tɔ ene pona no kra na esi no sea breeze no emframa ne bɔ a de nkyene ne namo nti wobɛhwɛ na eraste ereresa krapini sa aye arenkanare erenkanare a na fi aye basa said the hu screen so no ye kwa homa ne so na ye ne Samuel Awuja ya oye convener concerned citizens of Commander traditional area any sugar factory emu nkomo a aye back and forth bibiri ebisa no se so factory na hoɔden no ene ye kyesen omoda so a pe sugar factory no ana ye sesa ne koye bibi fufura enka omo pe Mr. Awuja Oyerepa TV so ni ma chen good morning.
Good morning Mia.
Commander Tisano pay.
Ojamena do bibia for. Ye good
factory ni nso ho te sen esan se ye nyina ye te be 8 years ago say ya ye ho adwuma ene ni state wum te sen.
Yo, but I say, my main five years on command, the financial point. I'm the Commander Sugar Factory. As I'm speaking to you, my time there, as resident of Commander, now Commander traditional area, and okay, you were eligible. We are very happy, extremely happy, and okay, because now answer Minister Lancaster for building common. Now already a team from Ministry of Trade is in Canada, Commander Sugar Factory. They were clearing the place, putting the place in order. With the baby, baby machines, they were doing their own assessment. And they started this about 3 days before the vet is the Commander Sugar Factory, why ready to take off. And Juma Suma Yerba. Yes, Yin Day, Commander Sugar Factory Ben Empoano, into a Pono Bay away, and ye the day, the Abana Wabadi CCI. Actually, America 2 na sector, Abano Padozi, Commander Sugar Factory. Now, looking at even the work, Abania, just about 30 days or less. Ejuma Abani wa Shasi or Yeno. Maka de se F 8 years awabasin koya into 2.5 1 month here Abani Badu Ejuma Oguda wa Shasi or Yo. You see, Maka the Commander Sugar Factory or Tapopa and Ejuma Sum Norba Wabe.
I see. Abida da wasan abay meka na 2016 na NDC aban ene woso. Omo ye ho adwuma ma ye bo hu deda kan se sugar ne kra ye fi ase se kire no ye bi wo ho. Eche ne bete ye se na enye bibia etisa. Eno na chi no ade no emu nkomo te sen 8 years ago yi emu nyina no na aban da a ono so ko na na do aban no no osra factory no ana so se man sha dante e ho asem bia sa.
That's the 2016 time and this Abanisi Commander Sugar Factory. Now, you the Commander Sugar Factory, the sugar cane, now was the feed factory. No, you see, this Abanu stands to year nursery farm, over 126 hectares of nursery farm and cotton. The more thing this factory, no, on today, the old one. Most of the time, people gender Commander Sugar Factory now the old Kwame factory now are renovate. It is not like that. This is a brand new factory we see. In fact, the distance between Kwame factory now, not this current factory now, is about 3 kilometers. So near the same place in Bo. Now it's a new factory. The Abano to see or nursery farm no count with the hope they will use the nursery farm no sugarcane no. Now they feed farmers, so they will transplant. Now farmers in their agro, now they feed factory. Now, when you have my oye there, oye MPP abana wabasin koeno, obeno, oye shahena ma anka nursery farmer is supposed to take 6 months. Now oze wama for close to 3 years. Now won't harvest the nursery farm. Into onyini bodo, so the farmers were farmers were expecting them to be nursery and sugar cane, but they didn't. Ma abanya wabasin kwa pipi abano ton asho no ma on away apetition and sanu ewo area have baby for mem cashew and agro processing limited or eastern side or na obeto BP dampo. It's abano pipi abano ton the machine na mon or ndia Commander Sugar Factory anka ohia this sugar cane now they feed no. This year, because for good 8 years, we were advocating na Commander Sugar Factory Jumano. From 2016, basically 2024, Commander Sugar Factory into my new Juma. Every day, we are as residents and as a coalition. Every time we will rise there for the Commander Sugar Factory Jumano. Either the Minister of Trade, then Minister of Trade, Honorable Alan Chamantin, Obaba out. But oh, you could do any. Investor based in common, the Yanakuma to Yenina, Yay, Nabanus Wakoda, until Honorable Katia Monsobay. This is the same thing, and put an open for the federal button. Commander Sugar Factory in the cra, nurses, Dabi, Yenti, Monia, and she say, for the past 8 years, MPP abandoned body, Commander Sugar Factory, the one for one and San Kanda. The only thing away in the factory is Obeseno. What's a caretaker agreement? You see, why the Binuma war was the war when you when you are sure when you may be a factory or some way to pay. But when you may be in the 8 years, the Commander Sugar Factory, when you Juma. Nemo, this year, I good to America say, this year, make a major Commander Sugar Factory had it. Yes, as I'm speaking to you, the Commander Sugar Factory. Last week Thursday, and Ministry of Trade, technical team, Sugar Factory. And they've been here for the past 1 week. If I tell you, we get a backhoe or clear the whole area, the technical people, social factory inside this year, the order will paint what they started last week. This year, a team is still working. A team of about over 120 people from Ministry of Trade. This year, we will do our Juma. And there are some minor parts there that was some because we are some issues that this year the technical team is still working. In say today there is another technical team that will be a crowd about. And number minister and Kenu, and the Mabo honorable for surgery about the papa. Because answer overtake office in Puna Shefida, what they share my commander to the factory and oversee doing so. She's been in contact with us. And actually engagement ne aho fama opede commander sugar factory Oyejuma. Unlike Abana Wabasano Kwa and Minister Potum, Honorable Ketia Montum ba commander sugar factory. The all by inspection was a malis. Even on my hinpo Hamponya where the minister and Papa run. From Fumponya way, this minister has already started engaging us. Even first day in office, minister no reached out to us. And Esha Oye Newsum on Okoye, and when the minister will mean the Yejuma. And since I can tell you in confidence there, Commander Sugar Factory, at the rate Abani Occidentally, Oshisha Yamama factory na Yejumano, on even a matter of months, but I can tell you that in a matter of weeks, Commander Sugar Factory will take off and Kasa. Meaning I say, a bishop there, Commander Sugar Factory, I feel now we use what the feed Commander Sugar Factory. It should take between 4 and 6 months and sana with the now abanino on pede training the refining process your friend semi-processed sugar abani and this abani okay anuna this year do that white sugar while doing that now we engage a kwafuna wodia assure no within that time now kwafuna wodia assure now we process semi-processed sugar no so that it may have white sugar na is abamate in the 6 months we do not assure the feed way now I revert back into full production of sugar from sugarcane and kata. So now it's a special and these are many one and the look at the Commander Sugar Factory over the Yejuma. Now minister no on anything common one my ask today. Oh yeah, the whole Ghana 24-hour economy now. And this aban pade oyeno. They want to start with Commander Sugar Factory. Nti oye azikesa work at the factory ni not just work. But the full 24 hours in now running 3 shifts 8 hours per shift. Nti ma oye del kesimpo na ye wo Commander traditional area oye na ni take in the minia in the Commander Sugar Factory. Sorry Juma on use the power from electricity company of Ghana. Nemu nankasa one plant it is going to generate 3 megawatts of power. And out of that 3 megawatts of power, the factory nankasa they use 2 megawatts. Now or that sonin free na not that 2 efficient. Now 1 megawatt extra na of a cannon. Or remember the national grid. And I can tell you that this 1 megawatt can supply over 400 communities within Commander traditional area. Not today. The Indian Puffy, ECG, grid, another. Commander Sugar Factory alone is going to supply electricity to over 400 communities, which comprise over 100,000 residents. To ask or you need just some Kesimayan and Mayanda, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Asti. There, Oba in Oshenbo. Another Commander Sugar Factory in a matter of days, factory members accident to the other was at the way why and so when the Boshedo, my Commander Sugar Factory would also to him. Okay.
Okay. Mr. Wuja, Mr. Wakan, something in Abu to Aman Comona, Emre Papa Padiamae. I feel Abayo Treble no reason, the no Jina so canon set raw materials say ahwede no ni duane eden na say amu ekeka omo ho hwe kwan se bebe ahwede ni duane so ma consider kwampa e betimi dia fa so na ebeye basahare so amamu ana no me ma obe 15 seconds pe na dia same ho na apa
me ya ipo de solution shorter is very simple. We needed the old variety like 6 months. But this year the new variety of ashra you know just 3 months.
Okay.
And 3 months already nursery was a test nursery number. And yes, there was a Kesina Casababa. Now, I'll go with Nakasa, Wobo, Nano. Yes, I'll go with that. Not sure now. So the event today, Cocoa, we cocoa processing factory or whatever. Now, if you need 1 acre of cocoa farm, or whatever, if you have a name, near the person called the same process near the use Commander Sugar Factory.
Okay. Miss Awuja, you better was papa na yedwesi ha. Bipamu no enya tisim na enoma ekɔ n'anim a besan aba ne enu abedi nkomo. Abusafo Samuel Awuja convener commander concerned youth and also say mebu na ɛwɔ hɔ no sugar factory no na kyerɛ sɛ we ka wan mienu ɛne yesi wɔ commander kuro na mu bibi wɔ hɔ a ebetimi aboa yɛn ama yɛnya asikyire ni bi nti aban we sɛ wabai obekeka ne ho tententententem na wayɛ ho adwuma mede mu si anama sɔre ama kwan ma yɛ the health and lifestyle abeto amuso mede ndi Akua Asieduaa mede mu nyina ase me mamu ache.
Virtuous woman who can find. Virtuous woman who can find. Ebusiafo nyame ade hie virtuous woman did you make yes to be a bro ewo Oyerepa television so. Kwesi ade biala efi enwumre no nwotwe ekosi nonknon wo de hwe ye me wo somfo Reverend Mrs Comfort Agre me ne mabadwafo virtuous woman executives ye beton sapre ekitiri enintini eni abrempon abadwumadie yi so asofo ekuku dam lawyer for kra beka ho bi ye de dwumadie yi ebetuawo ewo wahye ye bekyerɛkyerɛ afotuo enkoso adehia adwumahia bebadwumadie yi so ye bekyerɛkyerɛ ma ye bekyerɛkyerɛ mofra kwanya ye befa so atete ye mofra we nyina ye nkyerɛkyerɛ ye de ba dwumadie yi ye de betuawo ewo beebi a emekuo esia beebi a eku ahodoɔ a eye emma fekuo esia mudia mo hwe ye kwan ye de nkyerɛkyerɛ no etuo wɔ hɔ na kai hunu sɛ virtuous woman de sɛ wo de ye ya na wo de asɛm sɛ ye ka virtuous woman na wagye me so who can find virtuous woman who can find.
Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa TV, the station that makes me feel so happy. Hey, Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa.
Waya, ya sense be me mamu nyina chimidin e the PAC ladi ye the health and lifestyle bro. Anopai ye bekasa afa edware ho. Na ye ka edware a nsuo di makotene na cold water no nsuo nyu no wodi dware a efa bi betimi abo wo kwan bi so e betimi akofo house so aba nti ho nkomo ene ye betwetwe anopaye ne Reverend Dr. Boafo why safo ena ebedi nkomo wo ye safo wo reverend minister wo ye counselor and wo law lecturer. Title no in Adidewa. Good morning.
Good morning.
And also good morning, Reverend. You more kwaba so. Any other so say ye fro abrebia no a. Ojebre. O tight schedule. ebekire ye da se pa
me so be da se de bia motum sa fra me
okay ye ka ensuonwunu ho asem ensuonwunu the use of it wo nipadua no eso chire
so you ya de bia Yakobo boy no fire advantage just like fire is a good servant but a bad master. The dear because I say so around this time Hamatan we mistake now konum ensure consistently yeah war has my allergies ni nyoma no emboa ma yentimi nya apomudin a my ACP ewo samria Hamatan abe awowom dada itinanka awowom no normally what is advisable say you do the opposite of not taking the cold water but taking hot water. Cold water advantage is bia obo heat a chichere no chilled one abos and water. Even at times with cocktails ne nyoma ye no at times it's best taking chilled. Obo alcohol na no the man so he takes it on rocks, that's to say on ice. Some of these things no afefe there, but the actual side effects when you take it on is health implications. Now when it comes to bathing is something a drew nipa bi wa October you don't feel fine or want to make a cow you feel itchy or sweaty the moment you shower down you cool off. When they say go and cool off nanka ukudware na in the midst of heat nanka offer normal warm water not necessarily cold water a cool off you feel refreshed. But the when they say the way of bathing means you ye di dware no e wo so e binum say just bathing cold water no obetuma nya stroke. Yes, why? Because brain no intinini moja ena moja na e wo ho no e wo temperature within which e working. Inti imagine say suddenly obi di pin kura wo a hwese se opaleke
o yam sure
na ye hwie nso nwuna gu so a suddenly the brain function no they are introduced to a sudden temperature they can't function with. And what it means is you are either leading yourself to being paralyzed or being stroked. And that's why the Canadian medical team insisted say there are high chances of having stroke in the bathroom or being paralytic in the bathroom. Why? Because by the time I hear behavior party next time they say yes I tampil na ni asensu na go yeso and ye to go yeso wrong. Medical team and as a Ghana health service some time ago omo year some sensitization trend here and they were saying say shen one shin so go so good you are resting your chance of having stroke but rather no what you do is say osegu na so
and na you use shower dangerous pa
very dangerous
very effect but dangerous
very dangerous because the idea is a go so straight but the other caption is it should be warm or lukewarm titete no say na tire dey be insuo ni ho eja ni ho but the bucket see wiem na you lukewarm into the kwa you have introduced the temperature the body naturally is used to and if in yawo
say ni padua ni moja no enye nwunu emo ohye kakra
was say it's always pumping the heart is always pumping a pumper so it's at a certain temperature. If you don't introduce something foreign that will trigger or offset the motion
below the body's temperature say ni padua no temperature or the na adwuma no system so no the adwuma no say ba form chance
and I cost chance I was
okay
so it should be at this piece where it functions because moja need the frusani eden na nipa nya stroke eden na intinia when there's blockage intino it is working at a certain temperature. What we are saying say men interfere with temperature no have lukewarm water or normal warm water
anti so sense you can be trouble
Edru sa time we out me pejam kakra because of weather. Me say me dware so share wan hwa me hu. Why? Because weather na no odi and I me cold e mboa me. So basically for my health no there I take maybe me hit 2 times a kettle twice to get the kind of
temperature
me prepare so the beer because me bono man sra ointment beer be na awura me mu for that's for me but for other people no
allergies
allergies I want me ram obi wan so that form into obi wa that form mama wa mu no wa wonum koko wonum tea wonum bibi hot we are no panana za ko 5 star say your lifetime ye ku ye ho anu no first so the if you bia na nya bia obenya koko obenya tea anum sheshe something to go through your system and also the entire you so busy you find your man anyhow then you bath hot water men dware so onyu weather way hamatan way is not advisable rainy season so it's not advisable because awoba into once awoba no then you make sure say how you bath 1 2 what you bath with which is the water you should be either lukewarm but completely cold to the say boa che yeah
okay me kabia so last week na SMBC baby
yeah
enti no be can some nipa no free
yeah
no ka say nipa no am say wonya ni blood pressure course
yeah
and wonya stroke no say stroke no a number of intimo and a type of stroke wonya enti nipa no movement mobility kakra bi but ni obi di nsuonyunu onya stroke no a asa wokọ off no na odi nsuonyunu ni obi hwe nsuonyunu hohoro nanim na nipa ne ka say e very dangerous because nipa ne bia na veins na kwaye constricted emu amoa moja ni flow enti we sad nsuonyunu no egu nipa no animu a it's
like
problem
this mama typical example if so dey be here diet him light soup here no esi wo joa both fat na bedeni but normally when we are eating light soup
who's a fat flour
but your taifa is onyunu edikeki no it create problem mai into when you be out no so share a clear system na enanis anyom na it will clot and have an adverse effect on you at the same principle say nipa no nintine musi anytime obeko exercise bia no o yes abo say body ni hiti e wo mo a bo say afi de ohusam kekaw o sra ho kekaw wo ye ma se kekaw why exercise ama body no moja no e boil enti enane ama intine no mo abiebie this time patient no kan ho asem scenario no nipa no esi and audience onyuno kana ma ade na asa worsening by kicking whatever is there it no very dangerous. It shouldn't be advisable say nipa no the bath of cold water itself gives stroke na say nipa ni say nya stroke no say e dey
ozen first no na obi ti hwe adwaye si aboni dua wakote hwe adwaye stroke enya na adwaye bi so ka stroke enya na adwaye de na ye hu ni se bi adwaye ne na de baba nsuonyunu no
na de ba and not necessarily nsuonyunu kra no so or start frinity your culture say start nsuonyunu no because at times stroke need to be paralyzed even half of your brain and a brain also two functions one side will function and one side also will function it your function and move from wosa then it means wosa wofa bejuju
and na wo mo a wo ni obi wo ha na atwa hwe yesi mo fansuo mra e risky ana because if you are not on the pressure, there is an issue.
Will be faintier. We don't know the cause, so it's better that you rush the person to the hospital. Say doctors for what say certain behavior patterns, for instance, doctors will not allow so be a trashy and also be a condom be poisonous, no born and go and all that. No, so cultural in any no. According to them, they can choke to death and they are allowed. First, no be obi twahwe and if you nso ego ne so no and also won so we cannot double between say nipa na normal na nisu na ebre no and no twahwe na say or big initial stages or signs of having a stroke and all these nso ego ne so some of these things we have to avoid them and just quickly rush the person to the hospital then now begin to also take tips to correct some of these things, because there are so many informations, health bits I want net as well. In our times we go to there to learn and update ourselves, but we also seek medical attention. That's most important.
And Reverend, and now woka yamra nsuo nom kakra bi. Fi se na woka so bi wo ho a otimi di saade aduane. Na osan nom nsuo gu nsuo nwunu pa achele egu so. Na ma fat no
adding fat no
panelidi na ntimi flow moja ni flow yi. And ye be se nipa wo ho a ota nom warm water ana.
Very important. Statistics say warm water no etimi reverse yarepi. Over 30
warm water
therapy. Normally, na canope be a case numusua because your body need here insua. Normally, I advise about saying offer warm water. A beefer with normally over that moment, what did you your urine problems in there, yeah, careful kakra. But what happens is that what did you late in an answer after Ibino? You take in warm water with lemon. It will be sorry, nanka pejo, because it cleanses the system. The alkaline properties in cleanses the system with it. And also you take warm water. Some people take it with other remedies, bay leaves and whatever. But on Ejinobian with it.
Before apple cider vinegar. Before apple cider vinegar.
But content. The principle is bibi uncle you must at that point in time. Men for bibi back trigger any acidic content be back of also abroad because a bus and this will be a experience be won say will diet in aqua trigger bibi but only history of ulcer. If not, they will put you on ulcer treatment be a reverse been I say amount but then yet complete also na yedo koto so wako treka say no in initial form of it, we can give you that basic treatment to eradicate that kind of symptom na abano. Yeah.
Reverend, maybe some article be almost normally in the morning sanopano. Ebi mu pressure was ro. Ebi kura no a normal pressure kura na e basro kakra bi in the morning. Enti obo o san rush akwa adwuma. Anopano na alarm aringe make us say we yam crash wo ho ama awasen wo pressure no e ma ne basro no sa ko redwaye na wasan to nsuo no egu utrim dangerous.
Very risky. What we can do is say ebi mu take a lot of tea. Me I like to take cinnamon tea. And a local remedy be say you shouldn't take it on an empty stomach, though I take it very hot. Pepper pepper is good for the belly. Ekumiyem crew. Then prekese ebo circulation. So
pepper black pepper. Okay.
Basically you take me say aloe vera pepper prekese
in the morning.
Dash of nunum.
Okay. And we on drop.
Yeah. Tobo so you know so yes.
On an empty stomach we need you know.
Me take bibi answer.
Okay.
I take something. The one for bibi na
because black pepper for instance, me personally no.
Pepper no.
I know shit.
Pepper no nya shit say alligator pepper that's a form wesa and other you just take your cloves which is supposed to help what the pepper ka a champon and no fun and open ewia ne
a champon Crogolina odorata.
Yeah, good. And what happens ekumiyem kro.
Wow.
Eti ekumiyem kro also
aloe vera no so sa.
And aloe vera so what happens and they say you stick to one remedy. Say me fa nyanya me fa prekese.
Okay.
Why? All circulation yeah, and
effect to sugar so or high blood sugar. It me manage.
What happens and they say Bibi said ginger purifies the blood, the sugar in the blood. Reduce the garlic purifies the blood.
Yeah.
Ginger reduces the sugar level in the blood. And they say a natural antibiotic. But ninja properties in the side effects. you can't be taking some of these strong things
together
on an empty stomach. Your combination and make sure you've eaten well. And yes, bit make you
correct.
But basic one I'm here and say normal remedy tea in pepper, precase, lemon with mununum and aloe vera. No, it's just a remedy to boost your immune system and to also fight against certain petty infections in the system. It is an offer, it's warm. We normal tea, green tea, but we manage some of these things, you know. Hibiscus tea, need a count.
Yeah,
it's to help. It helps with digestion, it helps calm the nerves, it helps with circulation. But no pana, make sure you don't take it on an empty stomach.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Your brain was so now. I would wish would you ubaba chewe so enti Reverend Doctor oye elite purely but yenya ye tete no ma no eye adwuma pa meti hey ebi mpa me fie oba me fie a ni nyina bi obi ade ma e wo honom anopa me di bi bai kra me de wache haban amaye no ma no ade aba
yeah domestication yes domestication is very good
yes
but yeah bro for you know so want the benefits so let's learn to balance the two where he has also hospital where he has what the biduro no so normal first aid you know fire but do it properly
of course
seek advice abra nipa no akono ma ino akobo no say it will choke the person to death if you say bana ne bo afro no but doctors are saying say e be nipa na choke to death ti rush ne bra me obi twa hwe na onko hwe nso ngu no so amanko e bia na stroke na eye no na akobo situation ti ye hye sa anyoma ne so
many thanks Reverend Doctor say ene anope wa be kire yen ti said your counsel adopa titru in the mornings no o rush o pressure was ro o ko radwa ya no ahwe nsu agu ti say yen ne sa unya warm water ye but enye warm water na yen nsu a room temperature fagu na ase before ansana what wadware nya sa ya yi dangerous Reverend Doctor SY Boafo oye counselor oye sofo oye lecturer oye lawyer bibiri yeah that's a pa me so be dey the PSC la dey change over ye move over Kwesi Parker Wilson e be take over or dey cross over yankopon boa ye be share Monday doctor how do number beto ja na on pese ba
well 0245
32 29 0245 30 3229 me dey the PSC la dey Encantadios adios ye be share
Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa TV, the station that makes me feel so happy. Hey, Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa TV, the number one. TV, the number one. Oyerepa.
kwababiem edeba Oyerepa TV so. The OBT agenda, that is Oyerepa breakfast time agenda. Now, I'll pay on the agenda no. Yes, central for no. What Bonnie will say peer review. I finish here. Na yes, so what we can do, say the bear will deepen our democracy. Say democracy now over 30 years, 3 decades ni ya kumno, e beti ya shimokina. Yen ye and some ye beka. Anyhow, I be conduct here. Ni na be buana. Oko book cinema. There is something called irresponsible journalism. Na mpeni for trasi. O mama ya tisano manase. Say kasa irresponsible journalism den. Kasa ben na say ye media for you can. And I said in the ben ye media for no. Yeah. It say we are being very irresponsible. Media menye PhD in communication ya adi. Na your boss or no Dr. Samtimer. I will try champion or but media won some dia. Ono wa kosku musa huni nyina. Obeboy amayache no bi ase. It's me friend Dr. Samtimer. Doc Akua
very respond this Juzo but journalism don't do na newsroom any and you say which mean the PhD in communication quite very reporter of electoral commission but all the same books and also so on the road to play
right now of course all said journalism don't na newsroom no your senior editor Morgan also a very seasoned journalist. In fact, name say the time and contemporary because I said na munina na mo the time.
Yeah, own classmates.
Own classmates. Journalism Morgan also another person Morgan Akwa.
Yeah, pack up Joseph.
I do because Morgan mo no journalism na nothing in school secondary school just say they share 1 2 1 2 they have a wealth of experience about journalism. Now, of course, over the last few days in video be about a man for attributed to a senior colleague waka can say many other. That's not the focus actually, but the real focus on the say a peer review them as journalists, as media practitioners. Then a bit me a boy of my gun, ye casa mbekaya election no. Another colleague oka say on December 7th day about 1 year to no. About me dey kwa dey to on the 8th. On the 9th, no, and they told my John Mahama. It's I'm sure you remember that. Even the police came in and all of that. It's you be share how I be conduct here. Financial here going forward to also deepen our democracy. It's sometimes when you measure also.
Yeah, okay.
The baseline, you can say irresponsible journalism. Again.
Okay. Pakamedas, say a broad.
Right.
One sensationalism. Bruni sensationalism. And I said, no, yes, in see it. They were magnified. What the Biakan, Wamana you said they be a Nipa embassy, no, and then Nipa 2 years. 2 years bias and propaganda. Central Juma wouldn't mean in Fini. And say, there was some catch a bunko, no catch Nifa. And I'm catching if I'm catching boom. Any propaganda. Propaganda, they are sensationalism. Not say, but propaganda, usually are not agenda setting.
Okay.
Why you're not going to say Nipa we, may the benefit see so. Nama yini and Nama say no. Tin some abe kafan hunina no, and yet, and no so irresponsible journalism. Not invasion of privacy.
Invasion of privacy.
If you ever see a more private life.
Okay.
Generally, Nikwa said a cat and century man. Of course, there's an argument about that. Say, look, once you are serving the nation, there's no
public life
again. But of course, I think that is not right.
Okay.
So what I'm saying as a minister of state and as any public officer. Of course, I'm entitled to what I do with my life after work, provided a Jumano or the Amami no. Baby no myself, go ahead in baby room. So you'll be a map, PC, and this will be bra. Why we are this car? I will come myself, but Diana, yeah, a yika cram. Another defamation and libel, yeah. And so many can most simple plagiarism, so a kind of responsible journal. So I abroad.
Okay.
I say wa umu no. And then I team wasem. The oyen and see more often than not. Ya na woman him the omo you. And I won him the oye. Nipa bia say. And as MPP ni NDC na ekwa akansie. Ebia obi ho ahi. And now pe obi asem chen obi. Obi your classmate. Obi your whatever it is. Now what said that say? With the message. That is irresponsible journalism because you are not doing what journalists are. So the fairness, the firmness, and all that. No, a journalism, the moment you move away from any of them, then you are being irresponsible.
I see. It's I remember also. You time I came. Do you see, sir, currently you're practicing a woman a costume baby?
Senior say now there is a little bit I don't know whether to call it a discussion on sensationalism.
Okay,
because sensationalism, as your friend is sensationalism itself, no, it doesn't constitute to me. That is my view. It doesn't constitute
irresponsible journalism. Oh, okay.
Yes, if only a seminar but the import of the story, the facts of the story are represented and represented equally. Now you decide to come out with a sensational headline. Who say it constitute to irresponsible journalism?
You say discussion.
Morgan, can't headline. Now, at Confanoche, there's an accident. You go there and Nipano Sebi were prep. But say the tinti and 9 years. 9 ping. That's all I say the name of Bupea. You are not representing the facts.
That's true.
What can be a can enter? My headline there, over headline now. Headline there, I can decide to give any headline. But I cut the story. What as a headline, any journalist can decide to give. Editor can decide to give a headline.
I see.
It's not me chance that make us say Obama facts in no only bear.
Then there's no sensationalism.
Equally balanced. Now we used to certain words to make it look say say accident bit messy. So we are all reporting that 5 people have died in that accident. That is the fact. But Obi decided say I will go straight with the headline 5 people killed in that. Somebody also want to come in with some
almost everybody is there.
Yes. No.
Everybody is there. Not 5. Everybody is not 5.
Not almost everybody is there. But I can use a headline with a gory accident or a gory something. You know, just to make sure what was in the and at the same time, the mileage that you are looking for, because journalism at the end of the day, they are very important, and they say ubit mileage. Right. So when you mileage now, the marketing aspect of it will not come in. Right. It's a honor. You bet me ashe sensationalism. I think saying journalism, there is a small room. There is a small room for, because all call media.
I want us to narrow the conversation, particularly narrow it. Number say you establish a baseline. Now you narrow conversation to and some or TV so any radio so. Now the argument is that ebia timer better radio so better TV so I can send I could do the same, you could do the same, but the camera can't so be a say, especially when I'm not saying oh munko bu amanfo, but more like me encouraging go for say oh munye de san your man e hu so be na nya wo omamuche yen so
oh and then do so be say yeah they see here over Rwanda ekra e dey cancel what I be known as the Rwandan genocide, where just one statement one irresponsible journalist it may make it may cost over 800,000.
There's one song some side.
Yeah, but when you
say argument,
when you say we have 2 major tribes in a country. Now one tribe nipa or a journalist now work asano you himself one other tribe now o make a statement say the other tribe cockroaches they have to be killed. Just this statement. So one can say ni panin kompo no kukua. What they are saying panin team say when they see these people, they are cockroaches, and cockroaches it's indirectly, you know. Why instigate? What's I implanted some hatred? And they are share. So we because
what you more? So what do tip presenter no kasa now? Okay, just what do you stand the panel question? What you more? You don't blame the presenter. You don't blame the journalist.
Who say GDA ye wo radio. GDA ye wo TV.
Right.
It is say ono ba ofie. Now who ye teacher nimpo. Now ba na di homework a free school aba. Now we say who train said the is here
uncle
dear say kind by being a old method now they channel no you know can be buan am na ntiase no ayentem but the name say madam ni gina na nim extra de no who can be a which higher class than the ono but who believe the madam ni because madam no na ye de to me na man o chere na de who the o chere de different school you have your power over there. It is journalism and now radio, TV. People outside, that is how they see them. It is we had more TV, we had more radio. Now sebi and never being kwe. Now we are nipa be now form and nipa be now we are adibia. They seem to have a different perspective about you because once they see you on TV, once they hear you on radio, they give you a certain status. It's the obe can be no. Sebi nipa no akọ school graduate they said there obe making reference to what or radio so and that's the TV so
the influence in very
high it dependent
I'll come to you
depending on what you are churning out say if you are churning out something that is positive it will have a positive reflection and the man is so serious journalist with me a building reputation over a certain period of time. Where sir you get your following. Where sir when you nipa bia omu jiwudi said Ghana you just suffer for bidi because you nipa be even a suffer for your crampo no omu be ra asori auditorium omu welcoming ama omu da form asoro omu welcome suffer here I'm not ba sorry them. That is how serious it can be. It is a way journalist now over a period of time. Would me build the credibility? Would me build your following? Now, okay, same dia. And radio news a negative, it has a reflection on them. A positive one.
It works out on me about time on the same subject. I mean, yes, this is here. Information are very available to people.
Okay.
And the social media, you can easily go and check. It is a obikasem. Now say wow, who chase and who could this one? Now say you know. We should have named your visa.
Okay. Now, can you more?
After what you more had exactly.
The back say, sir, in Ghana, between 20 and 30% of Ghana for illiterate. So, research say about 8 million Ghanaians are illiterate. Chomono, woman marking kind of matter. Until social media there now can amount in Bussa, we are until no wire pictures. Two, conversely, about 70% of them don't understand the issues. The woman marking kind, any matro. And so catch as a GDP in the only man. So how Ashanti Gold or more Juma, they don't understand.
Concession
only man the crop. Say good no one free him buy. So you will think say will be being kind. By almost marking kind matron from about 8 million. And from 15 years and above.
Yeah.
And I almost saw more kind of money. They don't understand the national discussions. And they can count as a budget here, but kind budget. They have graduates, they have people with higher qualifications. They don't understand what is being read. That is what the journalists are taking advantage of. So the journalists will spend time in the night, study it, read and understand, and come with his own interpretation. Science interpretation and will skill. I'm gonna call baby just to convince them, just to mystify people. Or say until ne, over call baby not middle class. you discuss. Oh, I know Bekwana Pakasi.
Yes. You become
creative for be bankers, they are teachers, they are also Napaka Krasi. Sometimes you tibinum and you can understand. Say, assume a secret can say, but also some no so. But and again, we don't have time to read those things because I'm coming, man. Me and seven me my school we come about me town me never will do me adia afina me ko waste time akokenka it doesn't have any so we are able to convince people not just the illiterate too but some educated people. I see. If you engage people, you realize
I agree. I mean, of course, one of
the you see, time those people who invaded premises.
Oh, I see.
Oh, because someone in an entire now some going go for a smile.
Of course,
those people know. Say a tour there are processes the newly elected president will have to go through. As you know, Monko says because you see Satakashina.
I see. It's time. I mean,
very quickly. The check system. You nipa sebi omo doctors, be lawyers. Oh,
different matter. Different matter.
Senior journalists no or spend time in the night. No what kind of man no. Now what see say. Etina ye really budget way as time I kind na. Ye wo enkrofo a say ade chia make kwa kutie Oyerepa no match
also
otie bi o but o say make kwa kutie Oyerepa no match it no beti ase ye kwa sorry dem asofo no e na wayi ni quotation e na wono ape the topic e na wape supporting quotations a de beka ho e na wono na kan ho ti said ne ntia ni see no that is exactly what oba be chen dey ama asori
they are not can the spirit
and I can say as
but then 70
things of the spirit are the same
of course and 70 with the topic and name supporting quotations in a beba any unknown interpretation any understanding of person they might or church members no what we say no
because we can no we can now
but then we will still
flexible. I get you. But you see, the critical part of the media effect theories, but the question is, National Media Commission, because you never just say, for Kutupa instigate your more sensationalism is on our airwaves every day now and then. Timer. Media Commission for a role in checking young journalists on some of these things, and of course, critically, what done for? So your DJ president, Jumo, then also we to ensure say it need deal with some of these things. And everything goes on. I mean that's it.
So Nancy, let me permit me to give a personal example. Nancy, a course be masters in journalism. Now, question on Busapan, so see the National Media Commission is a toothless bulldog. Discuss. Now, the NMC assistants, it would to me, but only to me. Why can I say one media don't court?
Yeah.
Over an issue.
Yeah, over an issue. That's true.
Yeah, sorry, but we have appeared before them not less than 2 times, 2 occasions.
Okay.
We go, but to what extent can the Media Commission go? People have started taking them to court too. For instance, almost sanctions and they're saying when they decide to close you. And you know the main problem they have. On the culture say they did not give you the license, especially TV station or a radio station. Our license was not given to us by the Media Commission.
Of course, NCA.
It was the NCA.
NCA.
So their capacity, the Media Commission, was to withdraw.
But some of them regulators.
No, they don't regulate. They regulate the conduct. The conduct on air.
Exactly.
But I'm saying, say, they take, man say, we are good enough, Packer goes off. Somebody else comes to sit here. And you will say, if it's the style of the TV or the radio station, they will do it and continue to change personnel. But also come to me more than that.
Okay.
To say we have closed down
station
because continuously this is what you do. Make I go say the NCA, National Media Commission, power was enough. and they enough to check some of these. So there are suggestions. Said there should be some partnership between the owners of the license, that is the NCA and Media Commission, to work in partnership so that they can take certain decisions. And yes, NMC as it is now do not have the powers to do what you think they should do. We are stable, and that has also been political. Don't forget it. Who is the chairman and the executive secretary of the NCA and NMC and move the NCA? Now, whose bidding is the journalist into? Where is the stand of the journalist? Don't forget, manipulation of politicians in most cases. In most cases, yes, Waka. And Tipaka no nam say, ebi an voice no bo assume man ba power nti. They are very careful when they are dealing with him. And don't forget the NMC chairman, the NCA boss were all appointed by politicians.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the be self-inflicted. Yeah, they are three on so. And to go for radio, TV, so yeah, maybe. One into a man but nobody's talking about them.
But that's what the problem is, because you know that, and if you look at sort of consequences are, I mean, at the conflict and now social
and then the bad also. Even go there.
What I said, it
creates confusion.
It creates a lot of confusion. Exactly.
Look,
you know, I mean,
individual problems, societal, community problems, and all of that. A nipple, a juma say, individual emotional issues. But nobody cares, and everybody is doing what he likes.
It's the entire
That's why we are here.
What do you think about this matter?
The fundamental cause of all this, the interest-based journalism, because politicize all sectors of the country to the extent, say even the journalism, those say individual people be the only, it has become interest-based. It's your radio station, TV stations, it me Eddie such as say a MPP station.
What honestly actors?
Yes, a NDC station. Say they MPP pastors, any NDC pastors, Ababi drew the me the moment I buy Messesano, depending on the stance of that particular station, no I take interest. Either or be fighting, now or promote to Abino. And I say, or be taking a stand, say, media me pay Abino. Until the mayor say I will criticize. A interest based, it is driven. And now even so, what the politics and so crowd so every one. And now say remuneration and conditions of service. And shada and paninti. Ubi bana. Yes, sorry, I was so. The one you say, it's Nipano. Oh, a Jumanimu, Akua Asieduaa, also who said, Hoton. Conditions of service, new good. Nana dream, I am a clear. Not why ye Jumani professionally, no. And Tessa, into also offer additional income, also paper be a credit my best support, no. And the moment you go to a particular person, whether so a business owner and also a politician, no best support to Kakrano. Upu. Also, it me can't send money to me in favor of that person.
What is that rule of DJ? Because I mean, you've been around for DJ. Was sign number way because as an association, also check in
DJ na Okano. DJ na Okano. As a journalist, and you're compulsory. Say also call Johnny DJ. It's your journalist be
so if I'm not your member, how can you say?
Exactly.
It is a
problem for those.
And a DJ no crowd then oye. The oya and say my code of conduct. It is a code of conduct, all the money won't be function. As a tufu. Say a near way now fast.
We remember there, Morgan. We remember there you are
obliged to follow the conduct.
That's how they can sanction you when you don't
follow the code of conduct. But almost all your members. And even say nipani a member. Not say on go according to the code of conduct. 6 10 ben in place. Check it because the number of radio stations, the number of media stations, the number no. bupruja enti then resources and on betimi di aye etimi di acheki na ye hu se asemasi the all no go against the code of conduct and secondly unse adwuma bia no ye will refresher courses right. Ye will training programs training workshops said the beya unim die no sebi enda na de bia betima kenya no but media houses na nkasa ni in-house omo was our system no until the moment anipa no wotimi kasa no wotimi bubu beno yes obeya ade obehu names kind and the moment that the person sits behind the microphone now also kasa mo bit no then he calls herself or himself a journalist there wonim ewa bonte no and one that's what it seems to a year man 5-7 years nimdiana no and one that's what wonim adwuma na kasa nye hyehyeye se emra no obetimi amane nimdie no ebi abeka ne ho and ono personally no say dem be kan say remuneration is conditions so enye adwuma no personally ono so ntimi take initiative bia so enfam broaden in knowledge eti de onima no and at the say who crown wom mushroom mushroom journalism schools na around no obetimi ko na or the 3 months was so asua journalism owie na wanya baby abeya attachment obeya attachment no twi wonimka kasa no otimi ka ne ye wa ya fa no se ombra no beya adwuma how can somebody edit 3 months
brofo no so nimka
they say no no
was that the money asem to twi for no nkwa irresponsible journalism brofo for no so you
but the majority of them majority of them time is a majority of them
say who's a brofo ankasa no Bofanga sebi oh yeah irresponsible Brofo Kasemu Edding because yes Edding the right phrase is in there maybe I'll be using this is what translate but because the key no native language in it no sebi oh yeah irresponsible a bantem
I see it's and a previous for your peer review yeah politicians in the America because already they've started and media from where we responsible the ya kind of higher they say who are there it's
so
timer
but some come on now I think we are at the stage of mitigation
of course it is how
the first one training all kind very important
okay
until you ever say media owners the managers
no
training now is of essence
right
at least 2 times in a year
yes it's fine
now because when you go through those training, it's very difficult for you to be responsible.
Okay.
Because you learn the effect of war irresponsibility. No? Chairman Kofoye very careful. Again, your regulation, that is where you are. You know why doctors and lawyers are not misbehaving?
Very professional.
Because association is so strong. If you are not a member of Ghana Bar, there are a lot of things you cannot do as a lawyer. And it was said joining journalism, association, sports writers, those things, there should be a way to make it compulsory. And sign up your license to operate. So I think they should start.
So you are advocating for licensing journalism.
Journalism is very important because you see.
It's an answer to obey journalism. So license. Oh, I see.
Anyway, you can apply through your media house. You can apply through maybe Akua school and say the driving license near the end. A basana. There's a withdrawal of your license. In that case, if you flout A, B, and C, your license is withdrawn. And in that case, I mean, in fact, I can't define what I'm saying. So then there's this media literacy thing. Say, I can kind of swing more. Not Morgan kind of code of ethics of the G. How many of us know?
The people don't know.
Then a DJ crack.
It's irresponsible journalism.
In countries like South Africa, and I think one of these almost they don't joke with the code of conduct. Once you flout it, you are not a journalist. But honey, you can go ahead and fact checking.
Fact checking, true.
Research no so about form. It's a genuine error so.
Yes.
The all can no nim no all can.
No can so.
You see, yes, I said I say. He doesn't know.
He ignorant. That's right.
Very ignorant of what pertains in Oka. And Oka with conviction. Say do see can the all can nim na the OT no so nim and yet to the chain. I think another important accountability. And I think the media houses should also serve as a check on their people. When you say untouchables in media houses.
True.
Now I see this Parker is giving me money. The marketing aspect.
Yeah.
Parker will help you and bear 30 lawyer. Men go bonnet chemso. Because me can. Now say Parker Kwesi. So all those things must be looked at as a nation. Yes, I baby I hear come. As it says the aba. Omo be portals. They go on the internet. Say media house no banana. No could be in a blogging one where be on internet and so they'll be checking social media and all those things like the check because and also so I a problem papa but one or two money
not try and piasa
and it be a rather traditional media houses no. So we have a lot of work to do.
But what is on this like I mean beautiful nice match for join the conversation.
Time teacher for you did line session exams by now it's a teacher ni bia any licenses. As my make a chong say, so we teacher ni. Now you see licenses, and son with me, I qualify say, oh, Chadia, a one casacra to advantage because a man away and after the work, no one what you want to say. I have the licenses. Yeah, the book room because my colleagues are my nurses. What trying to be no sound control, no sound licenses. Even no court Rwanda, somebody can say, the president, why she say. Before say ubi be sorry. Before say oba ministry. Oba ministry. Also we go through certain procedures. Now we have licenses. It's na ye ka say 77 preduasa. 77 preduasa. The hula balu I of course in streets. Of course in neighborhoods. All in the name of me pretty. Now acquire nuisance no. It doesn't happen in Kigali. It doesn't happen in Rwanda because the system has been sanitized. It's the time I can that is the way to go. We are journalists also a team about licenses, and in this case, institution being also my licenses. No, and the National Communication Authority no say you more the power.
So NCM the station as a license.
The media commission.
It should be the media commission.
The media commission.
Media commission and also not media commission. So you apply through the establishment. Na establishment no ali it is your veto people
I'm first and from memo
no the
me baba catchy news oh he has them got
no but the tree news now can been written in English and you are going to do the translation you're not so you're not so a contributory factor because at the end you're thrown a brofo and a nipa no translate na or the akuchi. It is said you see true no and now say buy a criteria you dey picking and say na what na not you dey be na not you chi ni mu we kuma say na ye chi na say akwa ba rank right ama station bia bia e chi na it nipa na not you chi no ano e qualify na ya fa no but the all kind no e brofo it is said there also tiase no anade ntiase ne say di si ye ne pepepe and now say no we defective in it no can in a different way a better understanding no need the input of the story no about we different it may say exams here intimi new film you know and also be so journalist no what mean exams in film no what mean exams in film if we say journalism a institution I say fourth estate of the realm sebi medical profession estate of the realm no me saying and also you make sure say you are professionally trained with human life, and you have gone through the system. It's not human life. It's not because journalism also make kunipa. It's not because school. Now who decided to be medicine or who decided to be a different course? No, also call medicine. Who read school journal? Or don't first one question. One say call housemanship. And son with my friend who say me a doctor. Now they also call 3-man school. Just like that. Then you come and call yourself a journalist.
It was for an person mechanic. We are doing our own peer review. I finish chassis. Then per se boy the media phone media just because of maybe a 1 or 2 B. DIA share how it meets me a several problems. And time the solutions are back. Morgan the solutions are back. More mushaye. What do you think say yes because ye mama. What do you think say? Then I everybody medina ye we attend the DBN. But we are focusing on the issue, and that is what must be done. Issue no, and you focus on the more be a ding, do be a term, issue no. Now, maybe 4 lines in the next 2 minutes, you know. And pay in fact, the shots are by now. I mean, check by shots here. Oyerepa, a blood donation. Okay, you tell Dubai Event Center. And pay it's a message. Wow, pay wow, bank taxi drivers, no. Mamu toa de mamu modi anko na mko chumoja time I say we are really sure number 4 ono ngako afa no pe kra ha ngako chumoja nibi we can we are make up for it's in the best say live or Promise TV cry live or Promise TV ajumedi no ekoso kama and now no pay ya e wo kejitia Dubai Center na men bon kai say Christian service university men country say what person here degree programs and also your masters programs bra. Now, on general admission course den. What about your nurse? What say your business administration, computer studies, just science and information technology. Ni degree programs. But what that's what become a year. Santase Star Junction. One or more award the whole quadra so Star Junction. Mube Santase. Oko how bisa Christians to be a better be more. Yet a postgraduate programs so or more MSc in monitoring and evaluation. MSc corporate planning and governance, or more MPhil in communication. It was for Christian service on pay on 0246 275375 0246 275375 and at 040 154825 0240 154825 and at 0322 028 781 0322 028 781. Let me activate the lines for you this morning. So I make your way and get them today. Tama ne Morgan. Oma bi semne so e dia maye. Ya share solutions. In fact, the real problem is that we are in a state of despair. Look at the current situation now. The current loss, but still now, share how it me abwa and no man across. You be phone lines in the amount and they are upon 9 because in time and deba shortly after the 0594 192409 and at 0322 497 264. These are the numbers to call. Then I move say media phone yeah. We'll move away from a sensationalism and inside make a so bonnie beba a society no so. Yawaha that is in some across board before the election, after the election. El cost be media form. Sometimes I'm like, what is happening? I mean, what is happening? But they meet me but your team and not pay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Paka.
Yes, sir. What's your first and everything?
Paka, say me did two channels and I'm more discuss that issue. I think say how many say media. Mamun train ma bibin si. O musa wa modin but sebe yenim de asi a mo kana no pe. But obitimi class na ya twenya ma bibin si tika. It say na be dan media no mo be dan so. Because I want it free. Because political no. It can also obey the politics. Ti me say media de obitimi aya I think say temu for ya kuma be da any say. E si ye na lanfa okay. Man sending answer.
Mate. Medasi nano pay. See ya yeah, hello, good morning.
Morning, your friend Usi, Kasefrakra.
Great, Usi, Tiano pay.
Yeah, me can say, Muye Jumapaya, the net, Baku Sapi, Abba. The teacher, you move the narrative for no. Or mine, you papa. Now, can we generally respond? The government team started daily because we deal with agree. A two party no packer. Now, I could find a more as we have the Cheraba or Jebel Mangrana who could the top black sea. A more yet, a more if you call the moon, or Koya with Daniel, the trouble the care of Kufuad. Paka the general can say a when the Kufa come on the Mao. When you
anyone they are getting it wrong.
We are Papa.
They want they cut two different separate issues. Mitchim, today, I was explaining to you. Cut two different issues now. Can watch them. I'm in corner corner so. I'm corner corner. So yeah, hello, good morning. Before cause Mitchim to tell me. Mitchim mama. Was all cut two different issues. Nina money, but all cut two different issues. I'll explain to you further. Because when they had there, and nobody can tell me something because if I was they won't do that. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I was your first and after me.
Femi, please bless Akra.
People chop a jandeka come why? What's your first Felicia? Okay, it's you.
Mr. Make Kaka, Mr. Make can say. Baby, I'm Mukona report now. Nipana Monebeka. Or then I shall much the ma. Mumubaba wants to make an. Now would be a car. Now I hear different. We are still Musana. They say that my say. More media no maintenance and next Yamana number any politics. I did to Munya Mujuma and why.
Yati. And I put take feedback from more your mama no. Intino. Yeah, sure how it may improve it. And so you have Ghana's democracy. It's me accordingly. I'm connect corner. So hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I'm Bache first and everything.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Me Bache first and everything.
I'm the Odum Kwesi Accra.
Great, Odum Yetio. Otino. Yeah, I'm corner. So hello, good morning. Bache mo baba mun tie mu ho.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, mention. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, madam, but your first and everything.
Your family had you, Mr. Kwesi, Bantama.
Yo, Bantama, Aja Etio.
With Pacho, your problem is say your politicians, from Betna, Fidian Square. Yes, some Basna, some more kind of Quenima. One place to money moments and your more can Queen, Nana Yan Kasakata, no master. And I generally know. Ejumamuyen, your papa, by today, dear. Mummy, baby, no credit, mummy, and son of Quenso. And I information you also. I am get into the matter before Mode as some the babons because sometimes some number come later you find out that the truth is the now some as spread daily because your market in class. It's hardly for them to get the right information, but omunya information from Momo. And to say when I could speak use the phone this year no ma be doing. But Yama no multi market no for the affiliate to a pa as some more can said day. Yes, I mean come
that's a Haja. Great feedback. Thank you so much. Haja, just two more calls on the pen wrap up. Hello, good morning.
Friend, software, because this is
your software. Okay, it's you.
I mean, me power and the Bamika, because then you can 20 bus, me person far away. Yamistra. Now, Akua can senior. Or say the same 40 years, the Juma Moy and say, so for Juma. That's that you year, do more copy our heaven. And more fast and judgment a normal work because in some drop for no crash and so forth. Baby, I would see a domain Tiono. And yet, don't get to her. But Muslims in 12 I will be a politician or say in some junior almost said to Manu. The best I have some TV and before position and me see me buffon at 12 betia.
But Sophia that's it. Me for last call, they are happy of last call. Yati, Sophia that's it.
And can't me pass and see who different.
Yo, Sophia that's it. Me for last call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, morning, next day.
Yeah, but you're here first and everything.
I am God,
okay, John, you too.
Because I will you cry to them or be can look when I'm much why I'm kind of cry. Munkan the crap because I was there, can you check market to see no more Dubai, no more can say or be a win or could you discard the sea. asante fo no mo yesi enso na mahama no ko iska abebe
so you are we
enso na mo timi kan no credit and chro mo yesel mo a
John Medasi feedback all taking Medasi yo John Medasi now just a minute on Monasem no before the election and a black what the boss said with document the boss said every a movie uncofo bi kofa ba ye no e mono na expire e no be rebagging no mo chama SHS students so mundi so that is one angle of the story then nansi adie eye mo a ye call dry spell ni mo no che say nsu antona na agric minister no say ye ni aduane no ye koye importation e de baaye aye import say aduane de ba Ghana say de be ma twayefo no e na MPP Lucia election no it's about we buy no SHS for the complaining no so mu ni aduane no ana aban the kasa say aduane na e de ba say fa ma twayefo no ye fa koma SHS for no so that is the story. So I don't know which one you are saying. Say man can question the aduane ba na expire. It's true. Say aduane ba na ablakwa no. It is true. Say bagay. In fact, the fee India na buy. And bagay e mono from the original package no mo. Call buffer stock for the back massive buffer stock office ha. And distribute ma the SHS schools no. That was the concern Ablakwa was raising. There were documents to show. I make sure document now that I don't try. And no show document ni na me kind ni na and FDA has responded say it was true. And I'm catch them for ni say emuno chef line kaka but na can some the corner dia. So that issue was before the election. It's ebusia that is what it is. Why? It should be here. Morgan 30 seconds now finally.
30 seconds. Say who percent media owner.
Right.
Also we the needed resources because to do a proper and quality production you need resources a production now because sorry you have to do the follow up also friend now who dey wom ba nipa na nkasa kra credit ankasa won phone so kra adwuma mu also so kra so phone si wo awo de beye etini obeye de ote ne saa eti lack of resources are the proper production you know so can we na
maybe manager boss manager the sound of my yakeke na and then manager
like in 10 seconds because growing up na anybody in Trejman
right
na me ho journalist o me the for journalism was not about money and TS sports no kind kembedi akun o ma hwe o mo ni nyina no sebo babna uko mu fie ni ba bia no motia
the modest life
na nye eso and sika sema bam na minim where mantia na yirai and they also want to drive good cars
right
at that side in the bands and trade nya problem
it's because of the expectation of the
professionalism the call from
because of the expectation of the public
back na public na expect a lot from them but they still stood their grounds share the moment sikasem bebem no edin so betima hold on to your principles so people should hold on to principles and forget the papa can a reward is in heaven.
Is in heaven, right?
And the man saying training be and first seconds in it. And so business.
A teacher for now reward in heaven.
We see na college na edim komo yes right from here or call a radio so any TV so TV here and 9:30 or the sports no ba Sina Morgan also a senior editor senior journalist on so be kai ho to do our own peer review. The money for the feedback in Abuja mind. Journalists for us and new message so money a feedback in we are hoping and praying say na makachre ya shebe do so. Na ya limit the act of irresponsible journalism. Bidin edi Kwesi park so na and am dey and the jumadi no ebesi. Ya me adma Monday ebesi ya ba but of course I ready for the entertainment. Have a good morning.
say I am mache Akua aba OBT entertainment so and ebe jo fia pa o sha mi gina ho and say ene ye guest ye nya no studio ha no oye dancer ti be den check it to bi ni asaki to bi ewrem ehu asana nka se menim sante na me master be fia ha oba be kire me obe free ha na te se menya basics no right na afi so me so mi gina ho sa me sa na my champion metumi kwa akọ challenge in the dance competitions ni hade medi edena nama into for nano pay enipa eni ba be din komo ha medi ka se oye dancer it is the game changer juvenile game changer. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's say
Yami adombo
afishiapa afi na mehia
yes
afishiapa na ye no kwan so a right
eno ano na
afishiapa bi
afi nkombe san afise se na Yami abo ma bibi atutu ya
baby bi akoso amen. And briefly ya say game changer we ya hwan wudi ankasa sha de kama o ma me papa to we Ghana card so say and I kofa game changer
bidi ankasa ye edu said Acosta ba game changer no 2020 year na me change me na basically people knew me as Juvenile. So 2020 no na me decided say no Juvenile it's been there for some years now, so this time I was may apply some new name here a bit me boost me to move myself from where I was to a different part a person me drew. So and I'm saying game changer is a name that can at least hunt me, because if you want to change something that means you don't need to stay slow or stay low. Also we be a fit to the name now or the atoms until me for a name a be boost me my adebia be different.
Okay, ti obi be ka say me dey wo me na ade we dey wo me ya wo me hwe na me sa ya wo me hwe na me tonnwom ni ade wo de no asa no ukosua no school ana say wunyine na hu say wa start isa
me young no na me sa, but on say as young kid there o sakra obi amfa. So I was staying in a house where na me popi na neti, and there was this man mostly na Quran ya kono ho. So ye beko no bia no yi Michael Jackson or a fan of Michael Jackson part no yi the videos. So because na wo me muninti no me hwa me so me ko ni window echi a boza me so pese me ye de me hwe wo telling this one. So I witness as me ya de no. So in my school days, which is JHS primary na JHS for ne entertainment Fridays bia no omo be sheda be fame no makwa perform on be fame no makwa perform until through then no na me hu say no as me ya nkrofo anije people like enjoy me doing it and they always want to see more. And I'm saying no I don't know, it's part of me, so I have to keep it up. And then I'm continue ya me to this time.
Nti say who secondary school ewie ye what's I to aso
me to aso em ko pole
to aso wo ko pole. Nti as a young guy family parents show na you go school now so the asana obesa no how did your parents take this?
Me mommy dey okam na me young no, but mpopi na fan say ono at the first spot no he didn't buy it, because on say walk to school to this level and we are expecting you to come up with something. You at least you have to be in your office enjoying the money or whatever you went to learn. But after there was also beside there, what do you mean? So my father wasn't taking it, because no one say it's not making sense, why would you be a dancer? But me no man who say I have to prove him wrong, because as a matter of fact we are say it's not only school that will help people in life. Sometimes we all because of a doctor, but about at the end they know we know we going to achieve a bit of what they wanted to achieve. So we say no, this is what makes me happy, and at least I'm able to reach large number of people out there. Something for me, at least people cheer me up, people embrace me in a certain way. So why don't I do something that I can reach out to many people than few people? I'm choosing a messa, even though they didn't accept it, but I still kept on doing it.
I see. So at what point in time, and at daddy bet yes, I said, maybe no quit will blow this year, but me man quite undi nasa.
That was when DJ Khaled be follow your Instagram.
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, DJ Khaled.
Obroni DJ Khaled.
Pasha.
Wow.
Yeah, we follow your Instagram, and it was unexpected, because then you buy or release the album. That was 2020 more, and me who and me be na me catch me and say you use DJ Khaled I buy yam planet. So
me nchwa no ka say obe follow mu ana say mu ye group ana
yeah too.
Oh, okay.
Or no outside.
Okay.
So obe follow me no. Nti ono no catch him say o de obehwe media so ko hu beat bi I no be DJ Khaled nyom ni bia na amexe some young DJ lady bi also hype nti na mka say na ye use beat so no say na beat we dey be use because the beat was crazy na mka say no we have to use it and yeah you create choreography na hye nti ye kura call Aloma Adwoa dance class or invite me say ye like after no start so ye training kura na kakra nti after dance class na ana na ya hye dada ana ye ka say ntwanhwa ade ni nti ye kura ya post na homache sorry anopana we were circulating all over the media people posting us here and there say Khaled na ba be follow ye and na ba commenting or post a video no so on the page.
Wow, this is very massive.
Yes.
So daddy who ya no say me ban we do it.
And from then still supporting. But that's so ever I be with this. So
okay. Wow, that's great. That's great. And the game changer Juvenile and I need the and come out studio and a dancer. They can so be a dancer. Yinka chepa unhu asede bia unhu dance asama make no nti yenhwe the videos ba ko mienu bi mbra heba e beto ankomo no so e studio sa
But I no cry. 10 years bury her, but I no die. Take what's rightfully mine. Take what's rightfully mine. But that aside. Answer and I pay any din come to who's trying to say it's very unusual. Yan time you know and age when I say any breast so Juvenile I didn't know I was share mask edisa.
I don't know Oyedu baby sometimes people wants to see something new you are coming up so they can support that new thing you are coming up.
Okay.
Once I said they will turn yama udum. They want me to idea one way. You marry me kakra from business be switch kakra. Man be sa. So I realized as people have seen the face for so many years. So I said the familiarity became very close. To so they but when I put the mask, I started putting it on. People started seeing me in a different way because that this time no me sakra na ama asana even though they've been seeing what I've been doing for years so by mask never count to them it is changed.
Okay.
So I realized no I have to at least be blended be different and make count na after there and answer.
Na nye say ye fair be and tina wo de akata wo.
Debi.
Okay. Now biggest platform men we gina so asa.
Biggest platform there me can say some years ago me Kobirana performing our conference center some of the big shows, Banco, many of them Afro Break in Accra. Okay. Yeah, so many of them. Ghana Dance Festival in Accra, so many of the programs here.
I see. Pay Accra. What sound for programs I say
oh yeah, most of the programs we perform but more American dance festival and most are dancers events. So yeah, in Pennyphone we all go then support. So the bear a bit major.
I understand. Now Zab Zero, me say nanka one neighbor be dance battle be ambaso ade.
Ambaso because they didn't understand the idea now. Yeah, they teach to them they thought. Yeah, be take advantage of them, but they didn't know say this was the plan idea. Yeah, at least the be share sani mukina. Say the be at least obi so ba. Obi say dance battle is part of the game because oko outside world now it is part of the game and it's growing there. Red Bull Dance they are hosting dance battles every now and then because they realize say this is one of the biggest platforms. Say dance is near more involved at least a bit more some kind of channels and a platform for so and it's paying them out there. You could see Red Bull in South Africa, in Nigeria, in all parts of the world because they started from the scratch. So we wanted to build this kind of structure in a small way so some time to come. But because the media was comparing me and him. No, the way media is comparing me. They want to see something. And say this is what we want to build with you. All right, but later on, no. Now, if you almost say didn't come off for thinking say more followers same so I was going to tap in your followers and all that. And the end and send me brave now say more can't some online more different thing. More can't see be a bedroom week we see near bear come say battle no she so now somebody the battle was trending all over Ghana. You can high place a bay me paddy be or China. Big ups to Believe One on a besuma or so be a mama be a but it didn't work that way.
Did it affect your brand in any way?
Somehow because a lot of people were insulting me from last year the attempt because people thought say I was just trying to tarnish their image and step on them. But they didn't know, say, we were just trying to help. But as a matter of fact, it was and big men really wanted to invest and bring, the light in it out. Yeah. But they didn't see it that way.
Now, you found go back a cry, you didn't come about me saying for DJ Khalid ebe follow. How was the feel like and impacted positively our brand in Swana?
To us as dancers, the impact we had from it is it gave us a motivation. Say we can still do more to reach more because DJ Khaled should have followed a musician and even a musician be so would be but we just normal dancers doing our own thing, not thinking so we follow that coming to follow us now. And my confidence say there is more we can achieve if we keep doing it. But you see, hype nana Khalid because I can sumo. Man Kwesi say, oh, dances be about more than Amana could do say no. We didn't see that hype. To be honest,
we are dealing for media.
Be brave.
One can't even every no and my followers need been so by Anna.
Oh yeah, aside followers, it's open doors for us to meet new big men. Almost so more out there. They are, man, but could be Alexander Stylist or no, one of the biggest stylists. On the stylist Denzel Washington, big stars, through DJ Khaled, the influence in a man called Bria, almost saw it with the best name we follow. Till now, they still watch us. And so a boy.
A banner sa or Ghana in your Ghana all over the world, across the globe, and why any inspiration? Who inspires you?
Inspiration party. I don't really take inspiration from other dancers because maybe you'll be most times I want to stand alone and do something I've created myself. Okay. Me growing and even if I watch a dance video, I don't want to do the same thing I watched. I wanted to create something out of what I watched. Because me pick the basics of how the person did it. Tina me the meme there aka ho. Ti me ye nipa ne de nkra you know see say be nipa ne de na me. So I didn't really pick inspiration from dancers like that. Michael Jackson pa na make say also the tagging as a dancer because he was a musician. Ono na make say me young na dey. Ona na me hwe na. Yeah.
I see. Ayade. Ayade we show say obekọ fa na ansa na ye bekọ but o say yin ke check akra o say kaka minim sa nti wo nwumi a pesa wo de sa na
pesa me de on god
esa nti me wo be kire me kaka
kawale a kire me do pa yeah this is the first time I say me de nyum asa bim because odi Beyonce de ne ba me de sa no ache and ko pusi but this one I didn't think say be be follow me, but they say I'm pussy you here and be follow me. I will TikTok.
Wow.
And me kasa nyame sha.
Big ups. Chatawale ayade. No, to street na say. Or street guy into no. About the street is the man.
Yes. We wa brand wa ayade we dey betu and have to applaud you. Nyame sha baby.
You be call for social channels no to dwa na ye yasa na ye sorry.
Baby am will be a game changer juvenile. Game changer no normal game changer spelling and the juvenile is JUVENILE. It's a game changer juvenile on all platforms.
I see. Data. Data my nyumu. Na even try na say na omo church me asa me guy ba kwa join me no so ya dancer na yemfa nyum ni try na say na omo no nchira me ehunti next week me ba na say bi gina ho na ndi asa no nti guy my guy bra
you want they flood me I'm like I love it me this fucking beats me I play am make I take fuck up some sell out them be hungry things me say I'm a day America come fight me here now. So you know this is people love me.
I say man don't try more be na say oh my god why are there na as a man no try more be as a moye dia mo ye dia say me hu so kra as me
no ntina be ma obi bedwene ho
slow motion
on ti ase no
mo ma yen sadia yes e kodi say no ma me nyone ye normal mo mbozo mi zo ma me ye normal one zo mi ze no kwa me nimjo ti mo be kire me na ye sa normal ones no dia mo ye ide as a mo ye stroke bi that's what no mo ye say bi na as the game changer juvenile and any dim komo e wo fia ha no e dancer nti mo hwa de odi gu fom kakra ya na wo say fia ha de ye papa panti omo ba be kire me so asa omo ba me basic ones nti me so me ba na say betumi di bi ejina mu nti yenko nti yenko mo rolling njum na say njum na yenko Azam said I've been feeling busy asana. We ka come here na kwa my bread Charlie my yade asana mu de energy na room energy uni akuma untumi try uni akuma so what gym na won say o muscles na build now so we exercise ansana untumi nsa wa bra we sasa
exercise most of them one no mu hu ne sa be hu say like all sa normal no kwa na exercise but aside say all sa na exercise na so say one san personally we say exercise we feel so there be more energy more to dance
abere ntu aya be gina be sabi no be hu say na sisi The game changer juvenile and I NDD and Como OBT entertainment no dancer na mama who say we yin kecha o hapa na me so kakode mi fem ko uza mete so ba brepa mihiasa me exercise na me so metumi esa nte ha na brebe makwan my the OBT entertainment a yede be so mu anopenu yedi esie ya sorry so na sometime a otu champon and in the sports crew no edit today's sports at was so me did na ma into for and ya be say shabium ya be say shabium ya be say shanti ya kramo